This is the podcast, not an interview. This is a conversation. No gimmicks, just reasons. 84 reasons. Come holler at me. What up, everybody, man? I am being true. This is the latest installment of 84 Reasons. No games, no gimmicks, just reason. My next guest, man, I'm happy we got him on. Number one on the field, and we're going to get to the speed. I mean, Eastern Washington, they need to just hand in the rock. Nothing against Etienne, nothing against, Montreal, but 76 yards is 76 yards. Arizona to Florida. That man literally went from high school to walk down the street. There go Arizona State. Now he with them Gators. The great Ricky Pearsall. What's going on with you there, Ricky?
How we doing today? I appreciate you having me on.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Now, Ricky, before we even get to the athletic ability, man, who the hell taught you how to peel bananas, man? What's going on with this banana peeling, man? What's up with that, man?
What you talking about, man?
I saw a video that you was making a smoothie, and you even said, "Listen, this is how I peel bananas." What you asked me about?
Oh, you saw that video? Yeah. I just heard it's like that's the right way to peel a banana. I think I heard like monkeys peel a banana that way, so I think it's easier. So I just tried it. It worked for me, so I just continue to peel it like that. I don't know.
Ricky, you were obviously an incredible athlete coming out of Arizona. Started your career with Arizona State. I want to say you was coached under Herm Edwards when you was out there at Arizona State, but then you jumped in the portal. What's the biggest difference? People always hear P5 football. I mean, I respect it all. Mm-hmm. But what's the biggest difference in Pac-12 football and SEC football?
I mean, I think football is football at the end of the day, I think the biggest difference between the two conferences is just the traditions that are behind it, I think the traditions here in the SEC just run deeper than in the Pac-12, in my opinion. And, I mean, it shows on game day, everybody pops out for the games and, the fans are loud out there in the stadium. So I think that's the biggest difference.
What was the biggest adjustment coming? I mean, it's hot in Arizona. I've been to Arizona. I've been to Phoenix. I've been to Scottsdale. It's hot, but that humidity ain't necessarily the same. What was the biggest difference coming from Arizona to Gainesville?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. The humidity really. I remember first day of practice, me and Baby J, we were arguing about what practice would be harder and hotter. And I said Arizona. I told him I'm used to the heat and stuff like that because it gets pretty hot over there. But first practice, I ended up cramping. Calves both locked up by the end of the practice.
Now, Ricky, you are a guy that obviously highly sought after coming out of the portal, a guy that started coming from the portal. You are a guy that's looked upon to be able to help guys like young Hendo and those guys transition when you talk about college football. How have you embraced that role? Because coming from one team to another team, sometimes it's figuring out what my role is going to be, but they thrust you into a leadership role really, really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, all the guys welcomed me in right away as soon as I got in the building, and I really, appreciate and thank the boys for, doing that for me because, it's a hard transition, be going from one locker room to another, but, coming into that room, I thought I brought a lot of experience, and a lot of knowledge to the room, so, I just try to, give knowledge when they're wanting to accept it, and, when they ask questions, I'm there to answer for them and, be a vocal leader in that group, and, I think we all kind of bounce off each other in that room, and I think it's a really healthy position room for sure.
Billy Napier, a guy that's all about the details. I don't know what phase y'all in. Y'all go through more phases than a person that's trying to get professional help. I love it, but y'all got 39 phases. I don't know what phase y'all in now, but you had a full year under him. What are your impressions of Billy Napier?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even had a full year under him, really. I got here in the summer, so, I'm still experiencing what it's like to go through, spring ball an entire summer with him. I mean, the foundation that he's doing right now is the phase that he's doing right now is called a foundation. So right now, we're just lifting, getting to know the new guys. There's a lot of new guys that came in the first day that we got here. Back together in our first meeting. They had all the new guys go to the front of the room, introduce themselves and tell us about a little bit about themselves. So I think that's really important right now. And that's the phase we're going through is, building that bond and, lifting some weights right now and, getting faster. So that's the foundation phase that we're in right now.
And Ricky, how different is that? Like, you've been on a lot of football teams. Obviously, we know each other, but Billy Napier makes sure you know everybody. No. You're not going to just know your position group or the quarterbacks or the offensive side of the ball. You're going to know the equipment man. You're going to know the nutrition man. Talk about being able to know these guys top to bottom, who their parents are, what they like to do. And I heard you guys have to go up to the front of the room and kind of introduce yourselves to everybody.
Yeah, so he does this thing called Know Your Teammate. So, I mean, it's either after practice or even before that when we're training. You got to be able to identify who your teammates are, know their name, know where they're from, the city that they're from and the state. So you really got to know everything about them. And after the end of the practice, he'll have three guys come up and and then he'll call out random people. And you got to be able to identify who that is, and where they're from. And then also even before that, he even tells us, when we're walking through the building, make sure that you greet somebody, ask how their day's going, and, start a conversation, build these relationships with everybody in the building. Because, these are the guys you're going to be seeing every single day. So having that, bond is really important for not only him, but all of us too.
Probably Ricky Pearsall, number one on the field. I mean, Mr. Do It All, that receiver. We finna get into it. Now, Ricky, this is the most impressive thing I saw with you last year. Yes, you a different dude with that ball in your hand. Like, we seen that against Eastern Washington. But I see the 33 catches. I see the 661 yards, 5 TDs, 20 yards a catch. You were averaging 20 yards a catch. Talk about being, because this was an offense that was built on running the football. We get it. And obviously you guys on the outside got to find a way to separate when we get to the passing game. But what do you pattern your game off of? I mean, all the highlights that I see you going through spring practice or the practice in the summer, you a silky smooth route runner, man. I mean, I can see it. You like a natural hands catcher. What do you pattern your game after?
Route running, I think that's really the most important thing. I mean, as a receiver, you got to be able to run the whole route tree. I think that's the most important thing. That's what's going to get you open. That's our job, is to get open for the quarterback. So I think that's where I pattern my game, and you just got to break it down to the finest detail.
Eastern Washington, Ricky, they call it. They finna call the end of the round, jet sweep. I don't know what they got. I don't know what the play call is, but it's coming to you. Like, it's one of those plays. So obviously, as a receiver, you want them to call. If it's pass running, nothing against Montreal and ET, you're like, look, bro, I want to kind of be 60-40, give y'all 40%, give us 60%. But the play comes in. It's coming to you. Do your eyes get big? Do you say to yourself, I got to make something happen with this thing?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm just kind of give me the ball kind of guy. I feel like coaches want guys like that on their team, that want the ball every play. So, when my name got called, I just got to execute that opportunity that I was given. And, I actually chewed gum in the game. So I'm just relaxed, and I had the full confidence that, it can break at any time. So.
Yeah, but breaking is one thing. 76 yards is another thing. I don't know who the O-lineman was. You kind of set the block up. You kind of started on the inside, went back to the outside, stiff armed at the end. And my thing is, I'm like, I know Ricky's fast. And like I say, Eastern Washington, love y'all. Appreciate y'all coming down. But at what point did you realize, bro, this thing is about to break? Like, because you don't know what's going on the left side of the ball. You're on the right. You're coming from right to left. When you get to the left side, you think to yourself, oh, my God, this thing is wide open over here.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he tossed me the ball, I mean, I really thought it was going to be a touchdown. So before the play even started, I really thought touchdown. But really, when I, broke to the left side, I just saw a bunch of green grass. I saw Kingsley running down Big Rich. So, I know with guys like that in front of me and the O-line that we have, I know it could break at any moment. It could be a touchdown. So, I just followed those guys and, made a play when it came in.
You put on a route running clinic against Florida State. I mean, it was, and I'm seeing it happening. The hardest catch for any receiver to me is a 9 route on the sideline. That's the hardest catch because you ain't got no room. I got to be able to set them up at the line, stay skinny, and give myself, some room to make the catch. But you put on a clinic. I mean, coming into that game, obviously you got welcome to the Florida-Georgia rivalry, Florida-Tennessee, Florida-LSU. But we don't like them boys from Tallahassee. We respect them, but we don't like them. What was that atmosphere like? At Doak Campbell going out there putting on one of your best performances.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. All the guys, before leading up to the week were telling me what this rivalry meant because, it was my first year. And so, I just go and trust those boys and go into it just like how they are. I don't like them now. So that's what it is, and, the atmosphere was really good. Their fans all popped out because they knew what the game meant to them. And we brought the fight to them, but, we didn't finish in the end. But, next year we got to rebuild and come back at it. And we got their on the week schedule, we got them circled. So,
speaking of coming back, I mean, you are one of the biggest decisions this offseason. People was thinking, what is Ricky going to do? What went into that decision to say, look, yes, my talents are good enough to go pro, but I mean, I got some unfinished business. What went into the decision to come back for your senior year?
I mean, all kinds of things. There's a bunch of aspects that go into it, and I honestly went back and forth with it, and that was probably the hardest thing. And I just trust Billy Napier, and what he's doing, and I think he's in going in the right direction with everything. And I think that we got a really good QB room. We got Mertz in there now, and Jack was looking good. So I'm excited to get to work with those guys, and it's a brotherhood over there, and I'm just excited to get back to work with my brothers.
Ricky, man, what is this new facility like? I mean, I saw when they unveiled it. I haven't had the chance to get down there yet. I saw y'all boys. Y'all got these futuristic looking lockers. I don't even know what I said. I don't know if that's a locker or a first class seat on a freaking Delta flight. These things look crazy. But now y'all got nutritionists. Y'all got a pool. You got whirlpools. You got hot tubs. You got cold tubs. I mean, do they have to kick y'all out? Like, Ricky, what? Get the hell out of here, bro. We know you got an apartment. You cannot stay here.
Yeah.
What is that new facility like, man?
No, you could really live it there if you really wanted to. They got about everything in there. But I honestly, when I first got here, we were still in the old facility, and I thought that was nice, and then they're like, no, we're moving into a brand new facility. And, first day walk in, I was like, damn, this is crazy. Like, it was just so beautiful. It's a big old building, a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into making that thing. So, we're just all super blessed and thankful to, be able to go in that building every single day. And you got every resource you need, and, it's setting you up for success. You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, I know in your smoothies, you got to have the mangoes in it and you got to have the bananas in it. Can you go up to the can you go up to y'all nutritionists? Go, listen. I like my mangoes slightly cold, chopped up fine. Can they make it exactly how you like it?
No, yeah, they make everybody's shakes. They got a bunch of shakes that outright when we get out of weightlifting that everybody can grab from. But me, I have a nut allergy, so they got to make me a separate, shake out of a separate blender. So Brooks came up to me today, one of our nutritionists. She's like, "Your shake's ready when you're done lifting." And I was like, "Okay, thank you, I appreciate it." But yeah, you can just go up to them, tell them what you want, and they're gonna make it for you. It's a really good thing to have people like that, in the building that are willing to, design a shake for you individually, and put in the time and effort to, really focusing on you.
You already talked a little bit about the quarterback position, the receiver position. You guys are tight. I mean, I can see the camaraderie on the field, how much you guys really enjoy each player going out there and having individual success. Man, what are the expectations for this receiver group in 2023? I mean, you guys obviously got big time expectations for as far as like a group, but man, what are your expectations for this group in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, we have really high expectations on ourselves just initially, we want to be the best receiver group in the entire country, and that's our main goal right there, and it starts now, really. You win the season now, so I think that's our main goal. We got to take one day at a time, really lock it in on film, really lock it on getting faster and improving our routability. And Coach Casey does a great job of getting really technical with everything, and I think that's really that's something that our group really needs. And I think that's really important. We really bounce off each other and motivate each other and push each other. And I think sky's the limit with this group. So I'm really excited to get back to work with these boys.
When your position coach, Coach Colbert, I mean, having a guy that's had, great success in college. Obviously, it was in the greatest draft class ever in 2004. Yes, I'm biased because I was in that draft class. But how much better of a player when listen, everything he says, is real because he's done it as a player, but now he's just applying it as a coach.
For sure. I mean, everybody really respects Coach Casey. When we walk in the position room, we just want to be sponges in there. Suck up all the information that he's getting to us. And he breaks things down. To the smallest detail you can imagine. And when you get that remote in his hand, he's gonna hold that slow mo button and point that laser. So he breaks it down to the smallest detail, and that's really important. I'm really, I like breaking it down to every single detail so I can really, it creates the bigger picture at the end of the day. And, I think he does a really great job of doing that. And just his experience, he's already been there. He's done it. He's put guys in the league, as a coach too as well. So, it's already in the pudding, the formula is there, and, we just got to trust him and follow everything he says, and things are going to happen for us.
All right, Ricky, man, it's third and 7. We throwing the ball. We are throwing the ball. Sorry, O-line and running backs. Y'all got the block on this play. What route do you want? Like, it's you and a really, really good SEC DB. What route do you want to route this guy up to be able, like one of those patient type routes where, you know, the carries, Coach KC is saying, Ricky, don't rush it. Don't rush it. What route does Ricky Pearsall want to run on this DB to route him up?
That's a tough question. That's a tough question because I think I can run every route. But I think I like my corner routes a lot. I really like my corner routes. You know, I like working the top of the route, you know, using rocker steps and stuff like that. I think I do a really good job of doing that and getting in and out of my cuts. But, man, you can't go wrong with just going deep. So I think we could do that one too.
So, Ricky, as far as going deep, right? Because it's the thing, right? See, we got so many videos out now. Can't nobody get covered when there are no pads on. You watch these dudes, they doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk release. Can't nobody touch them. And you looking at this stuff going, that's not real life, bro. Like in the game, they're gonna put hands on you. That's not patience at the line, is what I hear our receivers coaches telling y'all. Listen, be patient. Like, don't rush it. Going deep is an art. People think, hey man, I just got to outrun it. No, man, I got to stack him. You know, I got to make sure that I give myself room. When you running, what are you looking at? Are you looking at the safety or are you looking at the cornerback's leverage? What are you looking at coming out of the huddle if you know you got to go route?
I mean, just identifying everything, you know, going through your keys. First, you get the play call, so you already know what you're running. And you should know the play call, you know, like the back of your hand. So it shouldn't be an issue to keep thinking about that, you know. And then you got to check the coverage and see what leverage the DB has on you, you know. And if we're breaking down the releases, you know, you got to have at least 3 plans in your head. You know, you got your first plan. If that doesn't work, you got your second one, you know, and then you got your oh crap moment, you know. And then you got to pull that one out the bag. But, yeah, you really should have 3 plans, and it's all reactive. Really, releases are really reactive, you know, getting somebody off the spot. And, you know, it's an art. Like you said, route running is such an art. I can go on and on about it. I don't want to give away my secrets, though.
Well, I mean, listen, you're a good enough player to where, you know, the great thing about college is you love those guys on the other side of the ball. You get to see each other during tour days. And y'all, DBs and receivers, y'all got the most lovely, weirdest relationship you're going to ever see as football players, because as much as y'all love each other, y'all keep each other humble. You know, you going back and forth, you know, with Jay Marsh and them saying, wait a minute, bro, you had a good play, but I was routing you up. Talk about being able to go up against that level of competition in the offseason to be able to say, look, man, I got some of the best cornerbacks in the country that I'm going up against every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing, just like you said, going against the best cornerbacks every single day. You know, some guys like Jason, you know, I just walk up to him randomly in the building and just start talking smack to him, and he talks smack back. You know, that's just the relationship that we have as receivers and DBs, you know. But, you know, iron sharpens iron at the end of the day. So I'm blessed to go out there and be able to, you know, compete with them boys every single day. You know, they make me better. I make them better. And, you know, we just bounce off each other, and it makes the team better ultimately.
Ricky, you've had 1 year in the SEC, man. Florida has a rival with everybody. I mean, it could be, you know, I mean, shout out to Vanderbilt. Y'all got lucky. All right, cool. That will not be happening in 2023. But you got Tennessee, you got Kentucky, you got South Carolina, you got Mizzou, you got LSU. Mm-hmm. Who did you like going up against the most, and who are you looking forward to going up against this season?
Really, everybody. You know, it was my first year, so I was just soaking it all in. You know, going into the SEC, you know, you hear a lot about the SEC and all the environments, you know, and it says the toughest conference, toughest schedule. So, you know, you got to take one game at a time. You know, it's a faceless opponent each week. But I will say, LSU, that is probably a game I'm looking towards, just because my boy Jaden Daniels is over there. He was my quarterback at ASU, so we got a little rivalry going on. You know, we're really close, but we FaceTime all the time talking smack. So.
You wear that coveted number 1, man. That's the creme de la creme in Florida. I know. And did you know you was gonna wear number 1? Did the coach come up to you and say, "Listen, man, you wearing that number 1"? Because that's the way everybody wants to do it. I mean, sorry, Big Dez, there isn't a number 1 big enough for Big Dez to wear number 1. Sorry, Dez, but. What is that like, man, knowing that you carrying on a tradition, man, that got started before you got there, but you carrying on? Yeah. I mean, and dare I say, man, you handling your business with it.
I appreciate it. And, yeah, it's super humbling, you know, to be given the opportunity to even wear that number and, you know, just representing all the guys that, you know, wore before me and all the greats that wore before me. But when I found out I was going to wear it, actually, I thought I was wearing number 5, if I'm being honest. And that was the number that me and Nate talked about. And then one day, I think it was after OTAs, I'm talking to Coach Decker, we're just discussing, what number I'm gonna wear. Just we were done talking about football stuff, and then we just, started talking about what number I was gonna wear. And he mentioned to me, I think Nate wants you in one, and I was like, oh, I thought I was wearing 5, and he's like, no, let me give him a call real quick. And then so I ended up just chilling for a little bit, and then my phone rings, and I answer it, and it's Coach Deck, and he's like, yeah, no, Nate wants to put you in that one. Naquan's gonna get the 5. And so that's when I found out really that I was getting number 1 was, after an OTA. And after that moment, I just, thanked him and thanked Napier because I know what that number meant. And I'm, trying to represent it the best I can. And, it's a blessing.
Ricky, you are a guy to me that what I like the most about your game is, man. See, I know what I'm looking. Most people they just want Ricky Pearsall to get open, catch the rock, get in the end zone. They don't know what you're doing. Like I'm watching certain routes and I'm saying to myself, it's the routes that you just routed somebody up, and maybe the progression just was right to left, and you just happened to be on the backside. Was there a play this year that you routed somebody up? You told that DB, oh my freaking God, boy, you saw what you better be lucky that he wasn't looking at me because
Yeah.
the thing about you got sweet feet. Your feet are always moving, even when you coming out your routes. I mean, was it a game this year that you told the DB, listen, bro, I just murdered you? Thank God that the paramedics and somewhere over the trainers. Was it a game that you just made somebody really, really bad?
It might be every game actually. After you route a DB up, you gotta let them know. Because you know how DBs are. They're pretty delusional.
Oh my yes.
Everything. No, but for real though, the DBs will sometimes give me props, and I'll give them props too. But you know how it is, receiver and DBs. We just go back and forth every play. It's who can win more battles at the end of the day.
I would be remiss, man. You got coached under a guy that at Arizona State that I really, 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 really admire, man. Herm Edwards is a guy that he just understands football, but he understands people. He finds a way to do both. Man, what was it like being coached under a guy that's going to give you a quote in a meeting that you're going to have to write down and try to use for life?
Yeah, I mean, team meetings, when you walk in there, you just want to listen. like you just want to listen because, he's probably going to say something legendary that might be legendary for a long time. But, yeah, no, Herm's a great dude, he's a legendary coach. I love Herm to death, to this day. And I'm just, thankful to, be able to be coached by him. And, he's doing good right now, too. So he's back on TV.
I mean, let's go through the list real quick. I played with Jabbar Gaffney and Jabbar Gaffney and Rishae Caldwell, Taylor Jacobs, Carlos Perez, Kelvin Kite, Riedel Anthony, Chris Doering. You talk about Van Jefferson and Tyree Cleveland. Now we got Ricky Pearsall out there just carrying on a wide receiver tradition. Because I get it. People get to talk about these other wide receiver positions at these other schools. They be playing when it comes to Florida. They really, really don't want to go through how great of a tradition we have. But to know, man, you represent that tradition in a huge way. You only been here a year. What is Ricky Pearsall looking to add to his legacy this fall?
I came back, to prove a point, and I mean, every receiver won it in the entire country, that Biletnikoff, that's what I'm chasing. So, that's a big reason why I came back too. And, I feel like I just have a lot to prove. I feel like last year, was just a little awakening, but I feel like this year I'm really going to, shock people going into this next year.
Every guy has every one of your teammates that come on here, man, about the fam, man, about moms and pops and even your siblings. What would you say to them? Because coming up, everybody has dreams. Once football becomes your love, man, I want to see how far I can take this thing, right? You grew up in, you talk about Chandler, Arizona. You talk about, Corona del Sol, right there in Tempe that you went to. You didn't even leave the crib. Like, listen, man, I'm right here and I'm going to go right there. What would you say to your family members that helped you get to this point?
Just thank you. Really, that's as simple as that. Is just thank you, and just thankful to have people like that in my life. I got a great family and great foundation. It's like Nate talks about, have that foundation. I feel like I have a really great foundation. They've always been supportive, through every decision I make, and I think that's really important. Because, a lot of people out there don't have that, and I'm just truly blessed to have that. And yeah, I just stayed home. Tempe was home for me, and I stayed home. for a few years, and they supported that decision. And then as soon as I went in the portal, they was right there, right by my side, still supporting me, and will continue to support every decision I make from here on out. And I'm gonna be sure to take care of them in the future. They take care of me now. So
Ricky Pearsall, number one on the field. Nightmare to any DB, whether you play for Florida or not. I do this to everybody. From Tempe to Gainesville. Listen, I got a nut allergy, so my smoothies got to be a certain way. Swag on the field. I'm dripping when I'm out there. Ricky, I really, really appreciate you coming on, chasing that Biletnikoff. I like when people say, listen, I'm going to put my goals out front. Yes, it's all about being, the last team standing, but I'm trying to be the best receiver standing in 2023. I'm biased. I will be watching. He is Ricky Pearsall. I am being true. This is 84 Reasons. No games, no gimmicks. Not my reasons, his reasons. Make sure you do the right thing and give us a listen. And we out of here.
appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Ricky, man. Stay healthy.